Well, let's look at the latest results in Washington's governor's race between Democrat Bob Ferguson and Republican Dave Reichert. Of course, you can see the winner here tonight, Bob Ferguson, the projected winner here with 56% reporting. 56% he has also over Republican Dave Reichert's 44%.
We have team coverage on the governor's race. KOMO's Michelle Esteban standing by with Republican candidate Dave Reichert's campaign. But we want to start with KOMO senior reporter Chris Daniels, who was with Attorney General Bob Ferguson's campaign this evening. Chris?
Hi, Mary. We're at the Convention Center in downtown Seattle, and you can see behind me that it is cleared out as a lot of people have been watching those national results come in. The biggest cheers tonight were in the governor's race. We saw this room packed with supporters for Bob Ferguson, who in a way has been running for this office of governor for the last 12 years as Attorney General, and before that on the King County Council. And he did, in fact, declare victory tonight. Here is a portion of what he had to tell the crowd.
Tonight, in making their choice for their next governor, the people of Washington State chose a pragmatic and progressive vision for our future. I am happy to announce that thanks to your support, thanks to your doorbelling, to your donations, to your phone banking, to your hard work, I'll be serving as your next governor.
He also talked on this stage before a room of anxious Democrats that if, in fact, Donald Trump does become president again, he believes he is in the best position to fight for the state of Washington, in his words. And his win, apparent win tonight, also shows, again, the strength of King County. He defeated Dave Reichert 3-1 in King County, showing how tough it is for a Republican to win a statewide office. We tried to get to Bob Ferguson after he left the stage, and we are told he has left the building, expected to address the media tomorrow. But that's the story for now here in downtown Seattle. Back to you, Mary and Preston.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Now let's get over to KOMO's Michelle Esteban. She's live with Republican Dave Reichert's team tonight. Michelle?
Hi there, Preston. Well, just like the polls and just like these ballot numbers that have come in tonight, Dave Reichert is not deterred. He tells me that he believes, and he told this crowd, that there's still a chance here. He says it doesn't look good, but in the an interview I did with him one-on-one here in the Grand Ballroom, he said he's waiting for the last ballot to be counted. Take a listen.
I just said, you know, really short and sweet. Race isn't over. Lots of votes to count, and we'll go from there. So I'm really excited to be here tonight with all our supporters. There's a lot of excited people here still. They still have hope. They still have faith. And so we're going to be hanging in there until the last vote is counted.
The crowd broke into applause when he came into this room and started chanting USA. Still a really big crowd here, buoyed by what they're seeing on the national level, feeling very confident about Donald Trump. But I got to get back to Reichert. He did tell this crowd, and he told me in that interview, yeah, the numbers, they don't look good. But he said, quote unquote, he believes that God has a plan for him, and he's just not ready to call the race. Instead, he took the opportunity to ask this crowd to stay. He doesn't want the Republican support that he felt on the campaign trail to leave. Maybe he's hinting for what's next. But again, it's clear he is going to wait despite that differential, 57% to 43%. Of course, some numbers coming in here at the Grand Ballroom at the Hyatt, and that's what you're hearing that chanting about. A lot of Republicans pretty confident and feeling good about this night despite Reichert losing handedly in King County. I did get a chance to speak to a couple of his campaign workers. While Reichert is saying he's going to worry, some of them have said to me it's over, and they're disappointed with that. But if he's waiting, they're waiting. Throw it back to you. Reporting live, I'm Michelle Esteban, KOMO News.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. KOMO's Ryan Sims is live tonight with how local residents are reacting to the gubernatorial race. Ryan?
Well, hey there, Preston. You know, we've been in this bar in the U District for about 5 hours now, and we heard rumblings here or there about the gubernatorial race, but I got to be frank with you, at least in a place like this one, all attention is on the presidential race. We, over the course of the evening, heard maybe about 2 or 3 people talking about the governor's race, but that compares to easily dozens and dozens of people, dozens and dozens of times talking about the presidential race. And to kind of underscore that, again, all the TVs here in this bar are tuned to the national races, particularly the president. presidential races. And so we've been seeing people come in here all evening long, tuned to the TVs. I mentioned this an hour ago, is that in terms of how this bar sees things and the owners see things here, they see this as a political Super Bowl, not so much, according to them, about the state races, because in their words, there was not really any mystery of how that would end out, but about the presidential races. And so we're still seeing so many people tuned to the TVs in terms of the national level. Now, this is at least the third, if not more, election where all the TVs here, where this has been a political event here in this bar here in the U District, spoke to two of the owners here earlier tonight. They say that they felt a duty to put this on. Sure, normally we have the sporting events here, we have other things here, but on a day that represents everything about what America stands for, represents democracy, they say that there was no question they were going to have all the TVs turned to the election. Here's some of what they told us earlier.
It's something that needs to happen because we can't hide from it. We need to address it, and we need to get back to politics being part of our community.
I think this is a place where people can come and feel like they're at home and, sit at the bar, or if you want to sit and read a book, you can do that. But just providing someone a location where they can feel comfortable being themselves.
And that last point is key as we come back live because, as I said earlier at 9 o'clock, this is unheard of to have crowds like this on a Tuesday. It's a work night for a lot of people. And the fact that we are seeing crowds that you would normally see maybe this time on Fridays on a Tuesday shows so much interest in this election with so much at stake across the country, including here in Washington. We spoke to a lot of the voters here who have been here all night at their favorite watering holes, so to speak. And they said it all does come down to comfort. They say they would have it no other way. And that instead of sticking it out in their living rooms, as some people rightfully are doing, they said that they could not stand to be alone. So in an hour at 11 o'clock on KOMO, we're going to be talking to some of the people who came out here, asking them why they wanted to take in a night like this in public as opposed to their homes. We're going to have those stories in an hour at 11. But Mary and Preston, we'll let you take it from here.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. Time now to chat with Ron Dotzauer again. Ron, what's your take on the governor's race tonight and how it's shaken out? I mean, we've talked a lot about this. No real surprises there. Ferguson winning over Reichert, at least that's the projected winner tonight.
Right. And for the reasons we've articulated previously, look, he was outspent by better than a 2-to-1 margin. If you're outspent by better than a 2-to-1 margin, in all probability, you're going to lose. Doesn't matter who you are. Number two, I don't know that Reichert at the end of the day really had his heart in the race as well, okay? So he probably could have worked a little bit harder. But the numbers were also against him, okay? The state of Washington has become a very, very blue state. Mm-hmm. Then he had the albatross. Even if Trump is elected president, in Washington state, Kamala Harris actually outperformed Joe Biden's numbers of 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. She had a 20-point margin over Trump in the state. And so he had that albatross, political albatross, around his neck. And lastly, as importantly as anything else, his position and his votes on the women's rights to choose. He never, ever got away from that. And Bob Ferguson's campaign did a great job. But I like to say in politics, is putting a bell on that cow, okay, and rang pretty loudly with voters in Washington State.
Yeah.
So from the GOP standpoint in Washington State, Dave Reichert was probably the strongest candidate that they have had in years. Does this mean that this is the best Republicans can do in Washington State?
I agree with you. I thought he was actually going to be a stronger candidate. And I think, frankly, to be honest with you, Bob Ferguson probably thought so at the same time when he jumped into the race, that it was going to be a much more competitive race. The problem is Washington State has rejected out and out the concept and the principles of Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. They are not going to be successful politically in Washington State until they moderate and move more into the position of attracting independents, conservative Democrats, and a coalition that they have eschewed in the last umpteen years in Washington State. They can't be just so right-wing ideologues in Washington State and be politically successful. And until they do that, they're going to be marginalized as a party in Washington State. And hence what we have tonight, every single statewide office holder in Washington State tonight is a Democrat. As we said earlier, that's the first time since 1944 that one party has swept every single statewide office.
Well, it shows you just how blue Washington is.
It not only how blue it is, but it's also because the GOP has marginalized itself. I mean, Culp running 4 years ago against, Jay he had a horrible campaign. And frankly, Dave Reichert couldn't break that pattern. He wasn't even endorsed by his own party, right? And so, again, there's some work to be done. And I think, to be honest with you, we're all better off if we're more competitive in our races. That both parties or whoever come to some level of being able to compete for voters. It's always dangerous, in my opinion, for one party to dominate a political landscape. And we'll see what happens. But nothing's going to change in Washington State until the GOP decides that it wants to moderate some of its positions. And they continue to not do that. And they continue to fail politically in Washington State.
Furthering that question, just as to what Mary was asking, what about someone like Jamie Herrera Butler? Someone with those kinds of stance, more of a moderate Republican. Do you think someone like that might ever have a chance against, say, for instance, 4 years from now, running against Ferguson?
Absolutely. Now, her best chance, frankly, if she decided to run for re-election to Congress, she might have had a better shot of holding on, going back and getting that seat back than Joe Kent did as just that really out and out MAGA Republican in the third CD. Now, I mean, there's a ceiling on that number. And Jamie Herrera Butler probably could have gone back if she could have won that primary. It could have been a different outcome in the general election because she is much more moderate and is not as ideological and right-wingish, if you will, as Joe Kent is. So yes, there's certainly room and there's opportunities for that to happen in Washington State, and it used to be that way. I mean, I've been around long enough, and the Dan Evans of the world and other folks like him had political success, and that's all been eschewed. And we are operating, unfortunately, in my opinion, in a hyper-partisan environment today, more so than we ever have, in my opinion, in the history of this country. And there's a lot of reasons for that. The large independent expenditures, some of the Supreme Court decisions that have allowed dark money to be hidden from the public, and all of that has kind of come into the campaign business that I think has become very unfortunate and has put us in a position of this kind of overheated political environment. Now you get me waxing sort of philosophical here. I got more time than I usually have, so I apologize for all those statements. But yes, you got me wound up on it.
You'll be with us for a while. So
I know,
worry,
and
I'm sorry,
but yes. So I laid it out there. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Ron. We appreciate it.